Hi, this is Orca, here to give you a quick overview of the Salesforce Process Builder. So Process Builder, if you watch one of our previous videos, is an automation tool. Slightly different from the standard workflow rule, and if you want to know the difference, please go back at any time and watch our other video. So here we're going to take you through Process Builder, each action, and create a automated process. So first of all here, I'm going to go up to one of my opportunities and I'm going to select my opportunity, and from this opportunity, what I would very simply like to do is create a contract from this opportunity. So coming back here to the Process Builder, I'm now going to go in and select New, and I'm going to create a contract. So here I'm going to type in a description. So this process creates a contract from a closed won opportunity. You don't have to enter a description, but it's quite useful if you want to, if you've got a lot of process builders and you want to quickly identify what your process does, or if there's several admins working on your Salesforce instance. And here I'm going to select the most common and probably the one you'll use almost every time, is the process will start when a particular record changes and obviously goes on to meet the criteria. So here now, when I've opened the Process Builder, I'm selected with quite a few different options. So the first one is I must select the object. So everything's driven from that object. So think carefully about how this process is going to work. I want to create a contract. That might be the object, but at the same time, that is driven from the opportunity object. So always think about your tree and your process tree and what is the object that triggers everything. So here now, I'm going to select opportunity by finding it. And you can see it's alerted me that I'm already creating something from the opportunity. That's fine. I'm going to go on and create something else. And here, I'm either going to start the process when the record is created, but if you want it to meet certain criteria after time, obviously that record's going to need to be edited. So it's going to be when a record is created or edited. And then I'm going to save that. Okay, so now I'm going to add my criteria, and my opportunity is closed won. Okay, so here my opportunity is closed won, and now I'm going to start to build out the criteria, and I'm going to click stage, select that, and now you can see I can have various options. In my operator, similar to the formulas, it can either equal, does not equal, starts, contained, is null. And here then I've got my type and I've got my value that I can pick. So here I'm going to pick closed won. And then there's a few other things that I can do. So in here I could go in and I could start to enter more than one criteria. So scrolling down, I could say the amount is greater than, and again I could either pick a currency, a field reference, so I'm referencing other fields, or a formula. But here I'm just going to say currency, and the currency is greater than 10,000. Okay, now I can go in and add in different conditions. I could customize the logic. So here I could say it's going to be 1 or 2, or if I've got more than 2, here I can say it could be 1 and 2 or 3. So here you can be quite bespoke in terms of what you build out with the different criteria for your process automation. There's also an important box little here. So it's asking me here, do I want to execute the actions only when specific changes or specified changes are made to the record? So an example would be here, if I close win this opportunity and then I then go back because I've closed won it by accident, and then I go back to close one again, it will invoke the process twice. So here I want to say only when specified changes are made to the record. So I'm going to click that yes, and that means I don't need to worry about it happening multiple times. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and I'm going to add an action. So here I'm going to select to create a record. So there's various different actions that you can select in here. You can create a record, you can send an email, I can invoke a lightning flow, can post a chatter, which you're also going to do in a minute. I can select quick actions in here, so create a record, create a task. I could create a quick document, which is a Salesforce document sharing tool. I could submit a record for approval. I could update this record or a record related to it. I could even call a custom built Apex class, which is something that a developer would build, again, to perform something quite custom inside of Salesforce. But here I'm going to very simply just create a record. And I'm going to create a contract. And record type in here, I'm just going to type in contract. And then as soon as I've found my contract, it's going to ask for a few details. And here we're going to go through the different types of field. So in here, first of all, I'm going to start off just down the bottom in the status. You can see I'm going to choose the pick list. I'm actually going to choose a physical value. So it's almost like hard coding a value into this. So I'm going to choose draft and then currency code in here and also the account ID. So these, what I would like them to do is pick it up from the opportunity. So here on the opportunity, you can see I've got an opportunity in pounds and it's with a customer Dickinson PLC. So I'm going to select in this instance field reference. So this is going to reference this field on the opportunity, the currency field, and it's going to populate this currency field here. So in here I'm going to go in and I'm just going to type in currency and I'm going to select opportunity currency. So whatever currency this record is in here, it will then automatically populate this in here. And I'm going to do the same thing for the account, because this is a process that would work across multiple opportunities. So again, choosing field reference in here, I'm going to find a field, and in this opportunity, I'm then also going to type account, and you can see I can select account ID. If you're wondering what the difference is here, this is I can actually go into the account and I can start to choose through fields from the actual account itself. But here I'm just going to go back and choose the account ID field in here. So very simply, what I've done here is I've created the contract, and as I create it, I've physically chosen one value, so it will always be draft. But in these two fields here, I've selected to map them from a field reference from the opportunity. So essentially you're carrying fields over, and this can be done anywhere at any time. Another thing that I could do is create a formula. So here I'm going to go in and I'm going to select contract start date, and I can either hard code a date in as well. So here I could put in today's date, or what I could do in this instance is create a formula. So here if I create a formula, it's now going to ask me to build the formula. If I click into this in here, so there's various different things that I can do. So as you know, building formulas in Salesforce isn't just another video, it's a whole series of videos that we would need to go through. So what I'm going to do is actually just going to very simply show you how to build a quick formula in here about asking for a particular date. So in here we're going to choose to have a formula for today's date. So I'm just going to go in and tick function in here, and I'm going to search for a date and time function, and as I scroll down you see I've got today. So I'm going to just click today and choose, and now you can see that all I'm asking it to do is populate the contract start date with a formula for today's date. Now I'm going to click this button to use that formula. Okay, and now you can see I'm starting to build out here the process around how I'm going to populate this contract record in here. So I've got my account ID, which is a field reference. I've got my currency, which is a field reference. I've got my status here, which I've selected, and I've got my contract start date. There's a formula. So those are some examples of different types of fields that you can create. So I'm going to save this record here, or save this action rather. So that's done. So here you can see now from the start of the process, which is creating a contract, it's from the opportunity object. When the opportunity is closed won, and is greater than £10,000, it's going to create a contract and then populate it with those fields. But I'm not done. I would like to do another action. I would like to post to Chatter. So here are a couple of really well used and commonly used automations that aren't available in standard Salesforce workflow rules. So here I'm going to congratulate the opportunity owner. Okay, so now I'm going to post to a particular user. And who's the user going to be? I'm going to select a user from a record, and in here again, I'm going to choose the owner. In here, I'm going to post to. So here you can see I'm going to post the user ID. So this is how I find the owner of the opportunity. So I go to owner ID, and then in the owner ID, I pick the user ID in here and choose. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to post to Chatter, and I'm going to post to this particular user in here. I'm going to say hi. I'm going to pick a merge field now. So in here, what I would like to do is put the opportunity owner's first name. So just simply click into merge field. Now this is a little bit laborious going through, but now I need to go through and find the owner's first name, last name, whatever you would like to do in here. So I need to go in and find the owner ID. And once I've found the owner ID, here you can see now I've got all the fields that are listed with the owner of this record. And remember, the owner is a Salesforce user. So I'm going to type in first name, or select first name rather, and then click choose. Hi, first name. And I'm going to say congratulations on winning this opportunity for, and now I'm going to search for the account name in here this time. So again, clicking on the merge field, clicking on here into the opportunity, clicking this time into account ID, and now I'm going to type name, and I've got account name up in here. The reason you see actually first name and last name here, even though I'm in the account, because in this particular developer org, I have person accounts enabled. But I'm just going to click in here, account name, and I'm here. I'm going to put Orca Finance, which is the name of the company of this org, and say success. Okay, so I'm going to have a little Chatter post in here. So hi, opportunity owner, first name, congratulations on winning this opportunity for the opportunity account name. And actually what I might do is build this out even more for the value of, and in here I'm going to type in the amount as well. So I've got hi, opportunity owner, congratulations on winning this opportunity for opportunity account name for the value of opportunity amount. So I've built out this little post here, and now I'm going to save this. So what you can see that I've done in here is I've gone in and done a few different items. So from the opportunity closed one, and it's met the criteria, it's going to create a contract, and then it's going to congratulate the owner. Okay, and finally what I'm going to do is put in a scheduled action. So you can see what it's prompted me to do. Now I've got some immediate actions. It's asked me for a time lapse. So here I'm going to set a schedule. And what I'm going to say is from now, so I'm going to say, okay, let's say 60 days from now, what we're now going to do is add an action. And now what I'm going to do is create a task. So this time I'm going to select quick actions in here. So follow up task. I'm going to select global actions, create a record, and create a new task. And here you see I'm going to start to build out a few of these values in here for this quick action, for this task, the same as I did for the contract. So who am I going to assign it to? So quite simply, again, I can either hard code an ID in, which is normally not recommended, but here I'm going to build in a field reference. So now I'm going to find the opportunity owner, and then I'm going to build out a few other things. So I'm going to put the subject, and again now I'm going to free type this and say follow-up call for success. I'm going to add a status, and again using the pick list, I'm going to say not started. I'm going to put a priority in, or I'm going to put the sorry, I'm not going to put the priority in. I'm going to put the related to ID, and I'm going to have the field reference, and again in here I'm going to choose it to relate it to this account. So what I've got now is I've creating a task 60 days from this opportunity being closed won, a follow-up call for success for the opportunity owner, and it's going to be related to the account that's on that opportunity. Okay, so now we are ready to go. So what we can see that we've done is created very quickly a process here. So from the opportunity, when it's created and edited, when the opportunity is closed won, and the criteria is that the stage is closed won and the amount is greater than £10,000. And then I'm going to go in and create a contract, and remember we picked the field values in here. I'm going to congratulate the opportunity owner via chatter, and I'm going to create in here 60 days a follow-up task for success. So now I've done all of that, very simply, all I need to do is click activate. So it's going to ask me whether I want to activate this. Any old versions will deactivate. So now I've activated it. Something worth bearing in mind is now if I go in here, you can see all of these fields are blanked out. So now I can't edit it. Even if I deactivated this, I wouldn't be allowed to edit this. So the proper process that you would be doing is to deactivate this particular process here. And again, you can see I can't edit this. And now I'd clone it. And I'm going to clone it as a new version, or a new version of the current process. Save it. And this will now become version 2, which we'll see in a minute. And here you can see now I can edit certain fields in here. And again, I'm just going to activate this. So going back to my processes, here you can see finding the process in here. My process was creating a contract, and you can see that version 2, and that's the version that is active. So this is quite handy if you have multiple versions of a process builder. Okay, so let's see this in action. So now going back to this particular opportunity, I'm just going to refresh the page just in case. And now I can see I've got my different opportunity stages that I'm going through, and I've got my opportunity owner, which in this case is Donnie in here. But I might want to change the opportunity owner in here, and I'm going to choose Mark Hanna. So he's going to get the chatter notification. Okay, so now in theory what should happen, let's look at this. The expected revenue, or the amount, is 150,000, so way above the 10,000 that we stipulated in here. And you can see at the moment, if I go into my contracts, I've only got one contract here, so I'm just going to delete this. So here you can see we've got no contracts in here. And now what I'm going to do is go here and simply select closed one. You see I've got a little bit of congratulations for close winning that opportunity in here. And now I'm going to go to my contracts and refresh that. And here you can see a contract has been created in here. So here's my contract. You can see it's in a draft stage that we stipulated. The account name is for Dickinson PLC. The contract start date is today. And as we said, the status is draft. So all of those particular fields that we stipulated from the field references, and also from the formula and from selecting the pick list, have appeared. So now from here you can see also Mark Hanna, who's the owner of this opportunity, would have been congratulated as well via chatter for winning that particular opportunity. So that's a very, very simple walkthrough of how to create a process builder with various different criterias. So here we created a contract, we posted to chatter, and we would be creating a task in here 60 days from close winning that opportunity to follow up with this particular account. So I hope that's been useful, and please like and subscribe. after watching this video.